Imagine standing in prayer, surrounded by your fellow believers, when suddenly, tragedy strikes. A shocking attack shakes the very heart of the Muslim community, changing history forever. This is the story of one of the most defining moments in Islamic history, the assassination of Caliph Umar ibn Al-Khattab. What led to this devastating event? Who was responsible? And how did the people react? Stay with us as we unfold this gripping tale. It was a day like any other, a moment of devotion and unity. The believers had gathered for the morning prayer in the Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, mosque. As usual, Umar ibn Al-Khattab, the second Caliph of Islam, ensured the prayer lines were straight before stepping forward to lead the congregation. His voice filled the air as he began reciting from the Quran, giving the latecomers time to join in. Then, without warning, a desperate cry shattered the peaceful atmosphere. "The dog has devoured me." In the blink of an eye, a man wielding a double-edged dagger struck down Umar. The attacker did not stop there. He lunged left and right, stabbing everyone in his path. 13 people were wounded, and 7 lost their lives. Panic and confusion erupted in the mosque. The congregation was in shock. Who could commit such a brutal act? A brave Muslim saw what was happening and immediately threw a cloak over the attacker, trapping him. Realizing he had been caught, the assailant took his own life with the same dagger he had used to harm others. Who was this man and why did he attack the caliph? To understand the motive behind this tragic event, we must go back in time. After the Battle of Nahawand, many Persian captives were brought to the Muslim lands. Among them was a skilled craftsman named Abu Lulu'a, a man of Persian and Roman descent. He was a fire worshipper and had been serving under the command of the Persian general Rostam Farrokhzad before being captured and sold as a slave. Abu Lulu'a became the property of Al-Mughira ibn Shu'bah, the governor of Basra. Despite his status as a slave, he was well known for his craftsmanship. He worked as a carpenter, blacksmith, and painter, possessing valuable skills. However, he grew resentful, particularly towards Umar ibn Al-Khattab, whom he blamed for the defeat and downfall of his people. Umar had always been cautious about allowing non-Muslim captives to live in Medina. He believed it was risky to let those who resented Islam reside in the heart of the Muslim empire. However, upon Al-Mughira's request, Umar made an exception and allowed Abu Lulu'a to stay in Medina due to his useful skills. But resentment festered in Abu Lulu'a's heart. One day, he approached Umar and complained about the taxes his master imposed on him. Umar, known for his fairness, asked him about his work. Abu Lulu'a mentioned that he was a carpenter, painter, and blacksmith, adding that he could even build windmills. Umar, appreciating his skills, responded lightheartedly, "Then build one for me as well." Abu Lulu'a, filled with rage, muttered under his breath, "I will make a windmill for you that the world will speak of." The remark seemed strange, but Umar dismissed it. However, those around him later recalled his words, realizing that they carried a hidden threat. Determined to take his revenge, Abu Lulu'a crafted a deadly weapon, a dagger with a razor-sharp edge, its blade coated with poison. He hid his intentions well, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And on that fateful morning, as Umar led the prayer, he saw his chance. The attack left Umar gravely wounded. Despite his severe injuries, his first concern was for his people. He instructed Abdur Rahman ibn Awf to continue leading the prayer so that the congregation could complete their worship. Once the prayer was over, Umar turned to his close companion Abdullah ibn Abbas and asked, "Who attacked me?" Abdullah ibn Abbas searched among the people and finally confirmed, "It was the slave of Al-Mughira." Umar sighed, "May Allah curse him. I never wronged him in any way." The realization that he had been attacked by a non-Muslim brought him some relief. "All praise be to Allah, who did not make my death at the hands of a believer." Umar was carried to his home, and news of his injury spread like wildfire. People gathered outside, some praying for his recovery, while others feared the worst. Doctors attempted to help him, but his wounds were too severe. When they gave him water to drink, it passed through his body and leaked out from his wounds. It was clear that the end was near. Despite his condition, Umar remained concerned about his responsibilities. He asked his son Abdullah to check his debts. The total amount was around 86,000 dirhams. Umar instructed that his debts be paid first, using his family's wealth. If that was not enough, he requested financial support from the Quraysh tribe, but no one else. As his final moment approached, Umar had one last request. He told his son to go to Aisha, the widow of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and ask if he could be buried beside his two closest companions, the Prophet and Abu Bakr. Abdullah ibn Umar went to Aisha and found her in tears. He conveyed his father's request and she responded, "I had reserved that place for myself, but today I give it to Umar." When Abdullah returned with the good news, Umar was filled with gratitude. "All praise be to Allah. There was nothing more important to me than this." Shortly after, his breathing became shallow, and he whispered his final words, "Woe to me if Allah does not forgive me." And with that, Umar ibn Al-Khattab, one of the greatest leaders of Islam, passed away. A peaceful smile remained on his face as he left this world. His funeral was simple as per his wishes. He had instructed his son to keep the burial shroud modest, saying, "If Allah favors me, He will give me something better in the hereafter. If not, then even the finest cloth will not help me." His body was carried through the streets of Medina, with people mourning the loss of their beloved leader. When they reached Aisha's house, they asked again for permission, and with her consent, he was buried beside the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Abu Bakr. And so ended the life of Umar ibn Al-Khattab, a man of justice, strength, and unwavering faith. His legacy continues to inspire millions to this day. This was the tragic yet inspiring story of Umar ibn Al-Khattab's final moments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more historical stories that bring the past to life. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.